Listen up, twerps. I know that these days you keep flocking to the same old thing. SML. Those three letters. Yes, that's right. You have an unhealthy obsession with microscopic 2-bit Super Mario. The Super Saucy Sarasaland. Green, black, and grayscale dot matrix graphics. Oh, and that fat, short alien with the pot belly looks like your uncle. But let me tell you something, friend. That potbelly is your destiny, and what you give millions of clicks to is just a mirage. A state of mind? A forest of delusion. And you, my friend, are the imposter. Because when you watch a game and play a game and thinks that it's all just a game, you end up being beaten. A game over, if you will. And you will, whether you like it or not. Yo, listen up. I haven't steadily lifted 5 whole pounds a day, 3 full days a week, to be talked down to by a guy who plays with puppets, sticking his hands up their buttholes and making them talk by flipping around his digits. But it's as simple as punching pie. And I'm Mike Tyson. Let me fondle your ear. Oh, yeah. Jeffy was sitting alone at a table, a kitchen table, nevertheless. His depends were clearly sticking out of his underparts, and the pencil he likes to shove up his nose made me jump back and holler. It was a number 3 rather than a number 2 pencil. That's not standard. That was the first thing that was off about this episode. The window outside the house showed the sun from Super Mario Bros. 3, and it was pissed off for some reason. Oh, it's probably because it was so cold outside that even Bill Clinton stuck his hands down his own pants. Seriously. There was an 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System graphic of former President William Jethro Clinton outside of Jeffy House, playing a saxophone and smashing the passers-by in the head with it. No, I'm not going to tell you that I'm the biggest fan of jazz. In fact, I'm not. My French poodle hates it. Jeffy was eating toaster strudels, which bothers me a lot because he should have been eating Pop-Tarts instead. Was this a Dollar General brand knockoff of the real SML program? Jeffy had no eyes, I'm assuming it was due to low budget, was missing a nostril, and yet a single nose hair stuck out so far that it hit the floor, haphazardly stretched out all over the place like a feline had thrown up a Bigfoot-sized hairball, and made its way out of the window and stretched off into the sky like Jack and the Beanstalk. I threw up. I had the flu. I guess I should have told you that earlier, but probably wouldn't have listened. Off in the distance, a tiny gray alien with bug eyes could be seen sobbing. E.T. phone home. He was holding up a corded phone, but the cord was cut and had blood all over it. Upon closer inspection, it was pasta sauce, or what the Italians call gravy. Jeffy ran out of the house and tripped over his own 2 feet. A single peanut flew out of his right hand and hit a purple squirrel in the face, shattering its teeth. Well, you know what they say about purple squirrels. You can't trust them. You have broken the witch's spell. Nuts! I have no choice but to be free now. The squirrel chippered out. It frolicked off into the bushes with a half-chewed-off tail, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. The bushes were being thrashed around. The sex scene was clearly being implied. But with who? And for what? Who would have sex with a squirrel? Other than you. A massive farting sound blared out of my speakers, and I'm fairly certain I could smell it. In fact, I knew I could. I went to turn off the TV, but the stench was like the most horrible sulfur and rotten egg sandwich I had ever eaten. So I continued watching the tape. Jeffy was seen jumping rope, claiming that he was getting ready for a boxing match with Britney Spears. No, wait, it was Santa Claus. Oh, like hell. Santa Claus is far too fat to fight. Suddenly, an army of Goombas holding spears could be seen marching off in the distance. I think they were those spear chucking things from Super Wario Land. They threw their spears up the beanstalk, and a massive giant corpse fell from the skies and landed into the ground, splattering blood like an elephant that just gave birth to a rhino. And I don't mean Republican in name only, Mr. Willard M. Romney. I thought it was all over, but my eyes grew so large I could feel them about to burst like beavers nibbling away on the Hoover Dam. The giant had landed on Jeffy's nose hair. It pulled the nose hair out and it pulled off Jeffy's nose along with it, like a Neverland Ranch horror show. Jeffy exclaimed, with his hands down his pants and a white glove on the other hand. No, it wasn't a power glove. But again, it was really cold outside, so I don't know if he was jerking it. Finally, Princess Daisy from Super Mario Land fell from the sky and landed face first in the frickin' earth below, dead. Then Tatanga, the alien. Then King Koopa. Then all of the band members of Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm even quite sure I saw Hootie himself. Only want to be with you, he said to the Grim Reaper. At this point, I gave up. I was a massive powdery man baby, and I was sick of sitting in a crib. Also fairly certain I was responsible for the smell. I turned off the tape, and I decided to never watch TV again. I found your Game Boy, my caregiver exclaimed. Goo goo gaga, I replied, setting the crib and the Game Boy on fire to rid the world of all the panic. Listen, if you ever see another SML cartridge or SML movie, do not be afraid to burn down your house. At the very least, you can claim the insurance money, assuming you're insured. And if not, what the hell? That's really scary. Seriously, that's frightening. What the hell? Why would you do that? Seriously. What?